What if I told you that I can get you into a 4,200 square foot house for less than $700,000 in the Austin Metro? I mean, whether you're watching from California, New York, Arizona, or maybe you're one of my neighbors and you're living in DFW looking for a change of scenery and looking to stretch that dollar longer. In this video, I'm gonna showcase how beautiful this model home is. This is arguably one of the best model homes that I've ever shot. Definitely the best model home in this neighborhood, but we're gonna unpack exactly how you're able to buy this floor plan for under $400,000 and also what other builders are in this neighborhood that their model homes will also blow you away. You gotta watch all the way to the end though to get the full value and to see the walkthrough on this model home. But we always have to get started at our first builder, so I'll catch you there. Alrighty folks, we are at our first stop of the day, Chesmar Homes. Chesmar Homes has made my top 5 list in terms of my favorite builder here in Austin. And the reason why, well, number one, let me just say this, is that they are not a luxury builder, okay? And they made my top 5. Now, even though they're not a luxury builder, they do still offer higher end finishes, or at least it feels higher end. And they're budget friendly, but they don't have budget friendly type of finishes like a lot of other national builders do, right? They try to keep it pretty high quality. They also offer a lot of customization options in their floor plans. They're always smooth flowing to me, which is why I put Chesmar in my top 5. Now, another thing that separates Chesmar from a lot of national or budget friendly type of builders is that they have an in-house design studio, which is usually in the garage, but we're unable to see it today because the model home that actually has the in-house design center is closed. So we're just gonna look at their second model, which also happens to be one of their second most popular floor plan in this neighborhood. We're gonna walk it, we're gonna discuss what type of incentives they have, including the price, and then y'all let me know down below if this is gonna be your favorite builder of the video. Just for reference, this is the Leilana. It is a 4-bed, 3-bath with a study, and y'all have to see the little storage that they have underneath the stairs. I thought it looked pretty cute, and let's just get started. So flipping that camera around, oh, by the way, this is just under 2,600 square feet. I love Chesmar Homes. Like, we gotta start in the exterior, right? I love the exteriors on Chesmar Homes because it's never cookie cutter. Some will have bricks, some will have stone, some will have this like cement type of, I can't think of the word right now, but anyways, like the cement type of look. And they're also gonna always go full gutter as well. And it's just, this home is not gonna be the exact same as the next home and so on and so forth. So gotta give credit where credit is due. Now, as soon as we enter this one, you're immediately greeted to this entryway right here, this foyer. So you can see we have the open rail concept, which is an upgrade. We also have that quirky looking fixture, which is definitely not gonna come with your house. And then up front is gonna be your study. Now, with Chesmar Homes, you do have the option to change the square footage around as long as the house isn't built, which is obvious. So if you are looking for the same type of floor plan, but you do not want the study, but you want a 5th bedroom instead of having 4 bedrooms, well, they can get that done for you. It is gonna cost extra, but the fact that you have that option speaks volume. And then right behind me is the front door. Y'all like that front door? So we're gonna go upstairs a little bit later on, so we're just gonna continue, and the first step is this closet right here. I'm not entirely sure if your closet's gonna have the same mudroom built in right here, or if it's even gonna have a light right here. I'm assuming it is gonna have the light, maybe not this building right here. Nobody is here right now, so I'm just gonna do my best with the experience that I have to show you what's upgraded and what's not upgraded. Now, this is gonna be your 3-car tandem, well, it's an extended 2-car garage, really. I'm not gonna even call it, we could call it a 2.5-car garage because you do have that extra space up there. But something to point out is that these walls are finished and textured, which your house is also gonna be painted and textured inside the garage. There's also windows inside of here, and also recessed lights. There's far too often I see builders just having the non-painted garages with no windows inside, and they only maybe have like 1 or 2 lights, but never even like recessed lights. So that's a plus, really brightens up the garage. And of course, you got your garage door opener. I don't know if this neighborhood is gonna have, or what type of water heater this neighborhood is gonna have, or this specific builder is gonna have. They might have the tankless water heater, I don't know yet. So over here is gonna be your living room. So we got windows throughout the living room here, and then we also have this electric fireplace here. Now, I can say for a fact that this right here is definitely an upgrade, like the backsplash is. And I'm also gonna put my money that this electric fireplace is an upgrade in general. If you didn't have this upgrade right here, you could just picture that this is just gonna be a flat out plain wall. And then we're gonna get over here to the kitchen. Now, this is gonna be an upgrade. Your countertops are most likely gonna be on the white side. And then your fixtures or your faucets are also gonna be on the stainless steel side, unless if you do choose to use these customization options or design or add these customizations in their in-house design studio. That's the only way you're gonna get that. Same thing with the cabinets, because these are not standard. Again, these are customizable options along with the backsplash as well, and the floors. So that's a big reason why people gravitate towards Chesmar, and that's a really big reason on why it even made my top 5 favorite, is because you are allowed to customize literally everything that I just pointed out. You wanna replace the study with a bedroom? Cool, we'll get that done. Do you want an electric fireplace with a backsplash? We'll get that done. Do you want the darker quartz countertops? We'll get that done. You want the cabinet, you want the cabinets to be gray? Cool. You want different types of floors than what comes standard? We'll do that too. You want different light fixtures? Do you want different faucet covers? We'll do everything. On top of that, you're not paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for this, right? You could literally just build the house the way that you like it, which is why I like Chesmar Homes. And that's a little quirky thing right there too inside the kitchen island. So this is gonna be what the pantry looks like. And then the outside porch right here. And then this is gonna be your primary bedroom. I like that window right there, that rectangular window. So this is gonna be their bathroom. So right now, just off rip, you're gonna have a his and her sink. So she got a little bit more space than the mister. And then you'll also have this oversized walk-in shower right there, which I've seen some Chesmar homes have the bench right here. Some just have the bathtub inside the bathroom. But you can notice right here is that this bathroom does not have a bathtub. And I don't think it has a space to add a bathtub, but I'm pretty sure if you absolutely needed a bathtub inside your bathroom, they can get that done for you. And this is gonna be your walk-in closet right here. Lot of space. Your floors are gonna be different. That's considered an upgrade. And I love the fact that it just bleeds right into the laundry room. So very easy to clean your clothes and throw them right back in the closet. Then we're coming right back out to the living room. But just real quick, we're gonna look at our second guest bedroom, which this bedroom, by the way, was tripping me out earlier because I was walking this house. I like to read at night. So I thought that these 2 lights up there was pretty cool. But then the more I thought about it, it's like, well, if my wife is sleeping on one side, then the light is still like shining in her eyeballs and stuff. But still, I think it's cool that that these lights are separate from that one right there, right? And I'm assuming that's because that could be used as a ceiling fan. And then this has a pretty decent sized closet. And I'm assuming this is gonna be a little linen closet, as you can see. And then we have a full bathroom down here as well. I completely forgot to mention before I even walked in here, upstairs, y'all have to see what's upstairs. It is a room that I wasn't expecting for this type of house. But just real quick, look at that little underneath the stairs place right here. Ain't that a little cute? For the pets, for the kids. That's a cool little spot. I mean, even if you wanted to store something, that is a pretty cool spot. It's cute. So we're going upstairs, and look at that view when you go upstairs. So as soon as you come upstairs, you are immediately greeted to this loft. Now you have the study downstairs right here. Then you have this loft right here. So you can see why people might turn this study into another bedroom, because you could just turn this loft into a study, essentially. This is gonna be your third bedroom, as you can see. So you're gonna have the sink on the outside, which just kind of tells me that this is gonna be some sort of a Jack and Jill. But then here's the closet right here, sink, bathroom right here, has a little linen closet, and then we have a secondary sink right here. So sorry, not a Jack and Jill, but this bathroom comes right back out to the loft. So if you are keeping this as a loft and you do have this cool little setup with the pool tables and you have people over, well then instead of them having to go in somebody's bedroom, they just go straight to the bathroom. They can close these doors off, lock these doors, so on and so forth. And you get to entertain your guests with the bathroom, with a guest bathroom. So that's pretty cool right there. So we saw 2 bedrooms downstairs. We saw a third bedroom over there. And now this is gonna be the 4th bedroom right here. 4th bedroom, I mean, pretty spacious. It does its job well. Somebody messed up on the paint right there though, y'all see that? And this is gonna be the closet right there. And finally, drum roll please. Look at that, you get your own little media room. How cool is that? Sometimes I kind of chuckle to myself when I walk inside these media rooms because it blows me away, right? I fall in love with these model homes. Like, damn, I wish my house had a media room like this. And it makes you fall in love with the model home. And then you say, you know what, let's go look at the spec home. And then you walk inside the media room. I mean, first of all, it's gonna be empty. But second of all, it's not gonna be highlighted in the same way. You know, it's gonna be a plain white room. There's gonna be no upgrades inside that room. You might not even get speakers like you would inside of this room. And now you just have to like put your own imagination into it. So I always kind of chuckle to myself when I walk inside of these media rooms inside of the model home, because they just spruce it up to where they make you fall in love with the floor plan, knowing that you ain't gonna get the same exact finishes. But I love this room. This might be my favorite feature of the house. You let me know down below what your favorite feature of the house is. Is it that under the stairs little storage that you can use for your pets? Cute. Or is it the primary bedroom, maybe the kitchen? You let me know down below. But now let's go ahead and talk about some numbers and incentives for Chesmar Homes. We have a lot of builders. Well, when I say a lot, we have about 4 more builders to go through inside of this neighborhood. And I might even take y'all to see some of the amenities, right? I just might do that in this video. So I don't want to spend too much time on prices and incentives with everybody, but I'm just gonna give you the most amount of time on this first builder since we're already here and since I kind of got to announce that. So just real quick, Chesmar Homes is gonna be your least expensive house in this entire section of the neighborhood. And they are gonna be at a starting price of $450,000. And this is gonna be their 50-foot lot product. Now that house is gonna be about 1,900 square feet, 3 beds, 2 baths with a flex room, which you can convert into another bedroom. And that's gonna, again, start at $450,000. That ceiling price is gonna reach all the way to $670,000, which is unfortunately the model home I couldn't take y'all to. That house over there, $670,000, is 4 beds with 3.5 baths with a study. In that house, even though it's closed today, I've seen it a couple times before in the past. If I have any B-roll of it, I will definitely hit up my editor to make sure that it's included in this part of the video. But that house is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I like that house a little bit more than I like this house, mainly because I like the living area and the kitchen better, and the pantry. I really hope I have the B-roll to show y'all. But this house, I also love the media room. And for this specific model that we are in right now, the Leilana, we are looking at 2,578 square feet, 4 beds, 3 baths, a study, and a game room with that media room. And that price is gonna start at $510,000 for the incentives. So because Chesmar Homes dropped all their prices quite dramatically, they're not offering any rate buy downs at this moment in time. I would say though that we are able to negotiate a deal to where, let's say for example, to get you to a 4.5% interest rate, it costs $20,000. Well, they are able to increase the price of their homes by $20K, and they will give you that $20,000 to use towards the rate buy down. And we don't have to worry about any appraisal problems going on with this neighborhood. The sales agent said that they're pretty good for the appraisals. They already built these appraisals with that in mind, that they may have to put some money towards the rate buy downs. But even so, people are still buying left and right at market rates. So you're looking at about 6%, give or take, if you're not buying down the rate. So that's what's going on with Chesmar Homes. And before we go to the next builder, I actually want to show you this real quick. So if you can see through this window, this is actually one of 3 ponds inside this neighborhood. 2 of these ponds, they come fully stocked with fish. I don't think that's one of them, but I just wanted to showcase that because you can literally see it from this model home. All right, so we spent enough time at this model home. Let's go ahead and walk the next one. Let me know if Chesmar Homes is your favorite builder of the video. We just made our way to the next builder, which I've spoken into high regard before on this channel. Now, it's not my favorite builder, but is actually making its way close to my top 5. I would probably put it in like the top 7 or 8. But regardless, this builder is Coventry Homes. This house that I'm gonna show y'all is 3,200 square feet, 4 beds, 3.5 baths. And what I learned too is that some of y'all in DFW, with IBM shutting down and relocating to Austin in the Domain area, a lot of y'all are buying houses in this neighborhood simply because of the value of what you get in this neighborhood. I just thought that was interesting. So if you are from DFW and you are looking to buy this house, why are you doing this yourself? Why not just reach out to me? Simply, I can help you get a house like this. But either way, you're gonna be very surprised by the price point in this house. especially when we compare it to the last house, that last model home that I gotta show y'all, because that last one is gonna blow you away compared to this. But either way, this one is beautiful. We gotta check what's going on upstairs. Primary bedroom is beautiful, but I'm gonna stop yapping and we're just gonna start walking through this house. So I'm gonna flip that camera around, and this is what the outside of the house looks like. So we got that stone look at the bottom, that stone brick look with the cement look. I'm still drawing a blank on what that material is today. So we're just gonna call it cement. It's been one of those days. Again, this house is about 3,200 square feet, 4 beds, 3.5 baths. And we gotta use some imagination once we walk inside the house, because as soon as we walk in, we immediately greeted to this foyer right here. So this is where your office or your study is gonna be. Now we have to use our imagination and pretend that's closed off, because that's where your garage is gonna be. So we have an office space. And then before I take y'all to the body of the house, we're gonna look at our first guest bedroom in front of the house. So this is where you put the in-laws, maybe the older kids, the guests. And it's not an ensuite, but it does have its own bathroom, a full bathroom. And then this is a really large storage space right here. So you can imagine, you can put a lot of things in the storage space. I mean, I don't even have to crouch down to walk through here. I mean, here, like, I'm still standing up, and there's so much storage inside of this room. This is almost like a little room by itself. I mean, if you had a kid named Harry, you know, maybe the last name was Scott or something, maybe you could put that person in here, and he still have enough space to entertain himself. So I'm gonna check out. So you also get a coat closet to go along with that storage space underneath the stairs. And interestingly enough, you still get the half bathroom down here, even though you get a full bathroom right down there. So I think it's cool to have some options. And now we get into the kitchen area. So this is a pretty dope kitchen, I would say. I like this kitchen. I like the layout. You have the quartz countertops, the underneath the cabinet lighting. Now I would say that, you know, there are definitely upgrades inside of this kitchen, just like the lighting. But for the most part, I would say this is pretty much standard. You have the built-in appliances, you have your gas cooktop, and you have your plain white cabinets. I'm sure that you could change the color up a little bit. But yeah, you get your deep farm sink right here to go along with, if you have a water softener connected, this is where your water would come out of. But this is gonna be for your disposal. You have your stainless steel dishwasher, fridge area, obviously. You got your fridge right there. So this is one of the areas that I don't really care about too much. So I'm not gonna show you all over there yet. We're gonna pretend we're gonna close this window. We're gonna come back down that way. I don't know what's behind that door. It's locked. This is your mudroom area. I would say it would be your garage, but the garage is in the front. I think that is connected to your garage, okay? So that's going towards your garage. So first of all, I gotta showcase the pantry. The pantry is actually large. A full walk-in pantry, so that's a good space. I don't know how I feel about this. I have both like pros and cons about this, right? Number one, I like the fact this is its own dedicated space. I don't know for a fact that this is gonna come built in your house or not, but assuming it is, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you, because like, yeah, it's cool. It's like you're locked into your own office, but you're also in a high traffic area. If you had a door that can close right here, sure, but the kitchen's right here, the garage is right there, the laundry room is right there, the pantry is right there. I would think that if you're trying to lock into your work, you're kind of in a high traffic, high noise type of area. But at the same time, I do like this little corner because you are away from everything else. Like, you don't have the distractions that the front office has, you know. With the front office, your distraction is gonna be the front window. You know, at least over here, you're kind of just locked into whatever you're doing. So there's pros and cons to being over here. You know, I'll leave that up to you guys if you guys decide if that's more of a pro, if that's more of a con, but I like the space. So back out to this beautiful kitchen, and look at the way that I'm glad that I was out here at this time of day, because we're able to see what this sunlight is looking like, the way that it's hitting right now. Look at this entire space. Look at the light. Look at the sunlight. All these windows letting in that natural light just looks so beautiful. The colors, I know it's white colors, I know it's plain, but they still just play off of each other. And it looks really shining, really beautiful, nice and open. And by the way, Coventry is known for the flow inside of the house or the kitchen. So what I say about that is that they position the kitchen island to where you will never see it from the front door. And on top of that, every single bedroom is not gonna be connected right next to each other because they want to give that maximum privacy between each bedroom space. That's what Coventry is known for. Even, for example, this TV right here, this mantle right here, right behind me, some builders will put their primary bedroom behind the mantle on the other side of the wall, but Coventry doesn't do that because, again, they're really in tune to people's privacies inside of their bedrooms. So they don't want the living room, they don't want what's going on out here to affect what's going on in there, if that makes sense. So Coventry, if you could think of Coventry as like a feng shui type of builder. I know I said feng shui a couple times in this video already. Before I take you guys to the primary bedroom though, I do want to point out this balcony because this balcony is kind of boss. So real quick, I mean, obviously too, this would be a customized balcony. You would not be getting this type of balcony in your house. However, it gives you the idea of what you could do with your balcony. Your porch, I keep saying balcony, but porch. It wraps around, look at this. So it wraps around, this is the yard, right? So this is gonna be your yard. So this is your porch right here. So they have a connection for gas over there, meaning that you could put, if you wanted to build an outside kitchen, it would be in this position right here. This right here, these sliding glass doors, that's an upgrade. If you didn't have the sliding glass doors, you would just have the singular windows, but you would still have windows to let in that natural sunlight. But essentially, if you really wanted to, you could build out an outside kitchen here. I'm sure that right here is going to be, your actual patio is gonna be right here. And then I'm positive that this right here is going to be the upgrade, right? But I'm also at the same foot, I could also see this being your patio right here and this being the upgrade. Or maybe I'm completely wrong and you actually do get all this, but I'm pretty confident leaning that this is a large upgrade, but this is a beautiful upgrade nonetheless. Let me know down below if you like this patio. So we're gonna make our way inside of this primary bedroom. So this being a 3,200 square foot house, y'all let me know if this is enough space for you to bring your family with you or not. This is a large window too. These windows are energy efficient, so even though that sun at some point of the year is gonna be beaming right there, well, you're not gonna feel the heat inside of this bedroom. And on top of that, you're also not gonna feel the heat that's gonna be in your pockets in terms of utility bills because these are energy efficient windows. Talking about energy efficient windows, you even have windows above your bed right there. So pretty much have windows on 50% of your doors or 50% of your walls inside your primary bedroom. Now for your bathroom, I would say this is probably maybe like the second best bathroom of the model homes that we walk today, maybe the third, but definitely a very high quality bathroom. Got to give it up for the privacy right here. More builders should take note of that. Then you have the his and hers to go along with the large soaking tub right here, which I could easily fit in. Then you have your oversized walk-in shower with bench seating. You have extra storage space right here with the linen closet. You have your own privacy king seat right behind that door. Then you have a his, well, this actually be the hers closet, but you basically have a his and a hers closet. And this is the other side of the closet right over here. And it's attached to the laundry room right here. I do like the layout of this closet because usually when you're dealing with a his and hers closet, you do lose some space in one, or like usually the smaller side, which I'm standing in the smaller side, you usually lose space in this side because you're connected right to a laundry room. But in this case, I think that you don't really lose too much space inside of this closet. You still have plenty of room to put all your clothes, unless if you're a Kardashian or something. You know, you got clothes for days. Let's go upstairs though. So if you think that this is the best model home of the video, comment down below Coventry Homes. And like I said, Coventry is making its way closer to my top 5 favorite builders in the Austin Metro. So this is gonna be your view from the stairs. Plenty of windows right here. Then we have this loft area that we're coming into right here. Now this open rail concept usually is an upgrade. I know some builders offer this as a standard. I'm not 100% sure if Coventry does. I think it is a standard with Coventry Homes. So before I would take you guys over there, let's start off in this bedroom over here. Remember what I said about bedrooms with Coventry? Is that they purposely, oh, look at that. 2 mice looking at me. Is that they purposely separate them to give everybody the maximum privacy allowable. So no bedroom is ever gonna be right next to the other one, which you have to appreciate that. Especially when you got kids running around, got kids down each other's throats. You know, if you want that peace of mind, this is how you get that peace of mind. So you got a nice little loft area here. I just want to show you what this view looks like. Imagine your family just sitting in a living room, enjoying a movie. You have windows all the way around. Kids might be up here playing pool if you decide to get the pool table. But the kids got their own section, the adults got their own section, and then the entire family has their own section with the media room, which these are upgrades. So, you know, obviously your media room is not gonna have the same paint. It's gonna come white, and you're not gonna have these fixtures either. You're not gonna have the speakers, but it is gonna be wired for speakers. So that's Coventry Homes in a nutshell. Now, there are so many things that I like about Coventry Homes, and there's very few dislikes that I have about Coventry Homes. I really don't have too many dislikes about them, actually. The one thing that I would say though, because we do have to be transparent, the one thing that I would say is that there are slightly better deals in this neighborhood versus Coventry Homes, but you getting a Coventry home is still a solid choice at the end of the day because Coventry Homes is a very solid builder. So this floor plan is called the Willis. Now, before I go into the Willis, we're gonna really touch on the price range in this neighborhood for Coventry Homes. We are starting at a base price of about $490,000 at their most least expensive option, which that option is still giving you about 2,300 square feet of space, 4 beds, 3 bath house. So pretty incredible value at that floor plan and at that price. And your most expensive floor plan is gonna be roughly right under 3,500 square feet. And that price is gonna start at a base price of $720,000. Now that's gonna unlock about 5 bedrooms, 4 baths with a 3-car garage. The one that I'm filming in right now is called the Willis. This is their most popular model, just like how it always works out in terms of a builder's model is usually their most popular floor plan. This floor plan is also at Santa Rita Ranch, which is another master plan community here in the Austin Metro. And the specs on this house is 4 beds, 3.5 baths with a 3-car tandem garage. And that price is gonna start at $675,000. They do offer some incentives, so they're gonna give you some incentives based on if you're buying a spec home, if you're customizing, but most likely you're gonna fall under the incentive of having a 4.99% interest rate. And there's a good mix of buyers, not just buying Coventry Homes, but in this neighborhood in general, there's a good mix of buyers coming from DFW, coming from Houston, coming from California, New York, Arizona, Florida. They're coming, and especially DFW, because DFW, again, you guys shut down that IBM plant and reopened it and opened one here in Austin and at the Domain. And we see a lot of y'all coming down here from DFW to basically buy a house that you would not be able to buy for anywhere close to the price that these homes are selling for at the sizes that they're selling for. So if you are somebody that works at IBM or you're looking to stretch your money as far as possible, reach out to me. We'll get it done, especially in this neighborhood, because this neighborhood has so much value. Before I take y'all on another builder, I do want to talk a little bit more about what this neighborhood has to offer in terms of amenities, and we're gonna talk about HOA fees as well. I was really taken back by the cost of the HOA in this neighborhood. And I understand why a lot of people choose Blackhawk to be their next home, their forever home, their first time home, because this HOA is pretty unique. So for one, this HOA has multiple amenity centers and clubhouses. I think I was told 3 in total. They also have 3 to 4 ponds, which includes 2 fully stocked ponds that you can catch and release. And they also have this little commercial area that's supposed to be like little mom and pop shops. So things like a dentist's office, a chiropractor, coffee shop, things of that nature. The developers said that they don't want bright lights, so they don't want a gas station to be there, anything too crazy like that. Not saying that that's not gonna happen, but for all that, and by the way, the amenity center includes, we're seeing things like paddleball courts, tennis courts, basketball courts, 2 fitness centers. One of them is kind of like that fitness center you get inside of a gym, so very minimal. And the second fitness center is kind of like a Gold's Gym type fitness center. So you get all that, which by the way, Blackhawk isn't just this neighborhood, it is spread across multiple areas. So you get access to all the areas as a resident over here, all for about $450. a year in HOA fees. Crazy. You let me know if that's a good value down below. So now that we got the amenities part out the way, now that we spoke about what's going on with the HOA fees and things of that nature, we are at our next builder, which this one is Capital Communities. I've never been to a neighborhood that featured this builder, so this is the only neighborhood that I know of that has this builder. So I can't really compare it to the other model homes. However, with this specific floor plan, as you can see, features a 3-car garage. This one's about 3,100 square feet. For a 5-bedroom house at 3,100 square feet, you're gonna be kind of shocked at the price. Now again, just like I said with the last builder, even at this price tag with the size of this house and how many bedrooms it has, it still does not stack up to that last floor plan and model home that I have to show y'all at the end of the video. So you definitely have to watch that one because there's so much value in that specific model home. But either way, I think this is a pretty good value add. Without further ado, let's just get started. So just like I mentioned, you have a 3-car garage with this house right here. Now it doesn't look too grand on the outside. I mean, it looks grand to me, but maybe some of y'all, like what I'm trying to say is that it does not look like a 3,100 square foot house. Crazy to say that. But everything just seems a bit wider and just a lot more depth. So like, for example, like the front patio just seems to be a little bit more wider than your average front patio. So when I walk in, well, we're gonna get started over here in the front. This is gonna be your first guest bedroom right here in the front. So you probably put your in-laws, your kids. And it also has a decent sized walk-in closet. Something to point out is that you're gonna have this 5 to 6 inch thick baseboard running throughout the entirety of the house to go along with the door frames. And these are pretty tall doors too, probably like 8 to 9 feet tall. Same thing goes with the ceilings as well. And then you're gonna have your full first bathroom in here, your full bathroom that happens to be the first one we see inside of here with a stand-up shower. So this is gonna be the sales office. So if you use your imagination, you could just think of a wall going right here, and this is gonna be your garage area. Before I show you guys the kitchen, you're gonna see the loft the study over here. So you have your double French doors with glass. Get your dedicated loft space over there. And then before I take you this way, we're gonna look at the living room and the kitchen. So as you can see, you got your built-in oven and your built-in microwave. You got your gas cooktop going on right there. You have your dining room section over here. I actually like this. This is pretty quirky, having the open type of shelves inside of your island. And I like when builders do this, when they have 2 different colors playing off of each other versus just having all the same one color. I think that looks really cool. And I haven't actually seen this color for countertops before either. Kind of like a dark blue. I'm colorblind between blue and purple, so y'all let me know if I'm wrong on that one. But either way, still looks really good playing off of each other. I like the light fixtures. Now, obviously a lot of this stuff is gonna be upgrades, like your underneath cabinet lighting, that the countertops that you get is an upgrade. Most likely the colors on these cabinets are gonna be an upgrade, but hey, this is just showing exactly how you can play around with those upgrades. So you have your open rail concept, you have this large living room right here, and then we're gonna go outside, take a look at this patio real quick. Patio features a ceiling fan. You have a decent size, well, this lot at least has a decent sized yard, but nothing, you know, just a nice simple type of patio. Just like we've been seeing all video, these sliding glass doors are gonna be an upgrade. Without them, you would just have the windows going right there with the drywall. All right, and then we're gonna look at the primary bedroom. Another pretty common factor about today's video with all these walkthroughs. Well, real quick, look at this primary bedroom. So you have a door, well, you will have a door right there. They don't have a door for showcasing purposes, but you're gonna have a door right there. So your primary bedroom is gonna be pretty private right here. But maybe y'all haven't noticed yet, but so far it doesn't matter if you're, well, actually, if you're a 2-story house, just like this one is, your primary bedroom is always gonna be on the first floor in the back of the house in this neighborhood so far. That's what it seems like. And I think we have one more 2-story to walk, and that one's the same thing. So every single one of these builders, their primary bedrooms is at the back of the house on the first level. So they're very similar to each other in terms of that, but they're very different versus each other in terms of the size, because this is so far the smallest primary bedroom that I think we walked in the video. If I remember correctly, even the first house that was about 2,500 square feet, their primary bedroom was slightly bigger, if not the same size as this. Now this bathroom is a really, really nice layout. I really like this bathroom. First of all, I gotta give it to the quirky lights right there, but we gotta give it to the privacy right there. But you have the largest soaking tub that we've seen so far. And then we have this dual vanity sink, or we can call it his or her sink, but usually I think the his or her sink, the technical way to classify his or her sink is if it's like completely separated from each other. So in this case, it would just be a dual vanity sink with a lot of space in the middle right there. So you have all these cabinet space, which you really don't even think about utilizing until you actually realize how much stuff that you have. So check box off of that. And then you have this large stand-up shower right here. And then we have the private bidet type of toilet right there. I don't know actually if this is gonna be standard with your house or not. If it is, damn, you have a bidet that comes with the house. If not, then hey, this might be your sign to buy one. I wanna say that this is probably maybe like the second biggest walk-in closet of today's video. This is a really decent sized walk-in closet, nice and open space, have a couple built-in shelves on both sides. And then it's connected directly right next to this laundry room. Got cabinets up there. And then we have this built-in mudroom section right here, which I'm gonna say is gonna be an upgrade. But if not, hey, that is a nice looking mudroom section right there. And I like the way that it kind of goes down like that too. So we are going to make our way upstairs, which not having carpet on the stairs is an upgrade. And this carpet is also builder grade, so that's also an upgrade. But as soon as you get upstairs, you have these large bay windows right here, energy efficient. And then you have this upstairs loft. Now look at the view from this story too. Can you imagine a family just being up here chilling? I don't think this one has a media room. I don't remember seeing one, but these bedrooms are large. I wanna say out of the walkthroughs we did today, this would probably be the largest secondary rooms. Maybe it's like the second builder with the largest secondary rooms. And like when I say secondary, I mean guest bedrooms. So this one is just an ensuite. So yeah, got lost in a train of thought. So this bedroom has its own bathroom, full bathroom by itself. And then this bathroom is gonna be shared with the next two bedrooms. So you have your walk-in, which I think, actually no, this is gonna be an upgrade. Your spec house is gonna have the full shower, like a bathtub and everything. Now this is gonna be your second guest bedroom upstairs. Again, very large space. I believe their last builder had a larger guest bedroom, and this would be a close second, if I remember correctly, but I've been everywhere today. So actually, yeah, this is gonna be considered an ensuite, right? The last one, yeah, so this is considered an ensuite. As you can see here, full bathroom, has its own closet too. So this bathroom is mainly just for the loft and mainly for this bedroom because this bedroom does not have a bathroom, but it's also a very large space as well. All right, so quickly, let's talk about what the numbers look like. All right, so Capital Communities has 4 floor plans. And funny enough, actually, look, check this out. The floor plans, as I have on my sheet, first one's called the Barton, second one's called the Canyon, third is Austin, and the one that we're in right now is Travis. For people that are not from this area, you're watching from out of state, these are all like places in Austin, right? Barton Springs, Canyon Lake, Austin, obviously, then Travis County. So it's funny that the Capital Communities uses Austin related names for their floor plans. I don't know why I didn't put the 2 and 2 together before, but anyways, the least expensive floor plan is gonna be $540,000. And that is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath with a study. That's about 2,500 square feet. So for 2,500 square feet, it starts at $540,000. The house that we're in right now is $610,000. It's called the Travis. And this one is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath with a study and a game room. And they're offering an incentive of 4.99% interest rate with some costs going towards, or some closing costs covered. I think it's up to like $10,000, but we can negotiate more. Anyways, that's what's going on with Capital Communities. Comment down below if Capital Communities was your favorite builder. Next, let's check out another builder before we get to that last one that y'all absolutely just have to see. Catch you there in a little bit. It's 2026. You and your family just bought this house that's right behind me. You just moved in. You just added your furniture to the living room, to all the bedrooms. Everybody's happy. You're cooking a nice, big, grand old family meal, and you look back to this moment, and then you're thinking to yourself, you're happy that you watched this video and you got to learn what's going on behind this door. So this fourth builder that I'm showcasing in this video is called Scott Felder. It's a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom house, just under 3,200 square feet. And we're gonna showcase what's going on inside, talk about the upgrades, talk about the incentives, and then finish off with the price. And y'all get to decide if this is something that you're willing to take on or if this is something that you're willing to pass. But also make sure that you leave a comment down below if this is your favorite floor plan or if this is not your favorite floor plan. Again, this is Scott Felder Homes. And I just also want to give y'all some context. I have not been able to talk to the sales agent. It's always been temporary sales agents, so they don't know all the incentives. So I'm just gonna go based off of common sense, logic, and my experience. All right, so this is the outside of that home. And just like I've been saying the entire video, for some reason, I am blanking out on this material, but we're gonna continue to call it cement. If anybody has an actual correct word, let me know down below, and I apologize for not being able to think of the name. So this is, you know, this looks like a 2-car garage, but it's a 3-car tandem, meaning that one of these garage spaces are longer than the other one to fit 2 full cars inside of that garage space, but that is a sales office. And let's just go ahead and walk inside. By the way, y'all have to see the last walkthrough that is coming up next. So as soon as we walk in, you're immediately greeted to this large, tall foyer with the open rail concept. Now we have to use our imagination. This is gonna be walled off because that's gonna be your garage. And immediately to my right is gonna be where the study is. So we've seen in some builders, they have their studies in the front. Some have their studies off into the kitchen. Some might have had it in the middle of the house. In this case, it's right at the front of the house. You have these large, energy efficient windows right there. And then you have your double doors right here. Now remember in the last walkthrough that the double doors were see-through, so they had glass. In this case, there's a little bit more privacy, but even if you wanted to get the glass, I mean, it's not really that big of a job and it's not really that expensive if you wanted to change those doors out. I love the hallway too. Just like the hallway really separates the entirety of this first floor. Now, this is gonna be your first guest bedroom, and it's an ensuite because it has its own bathroom. So your first guest and full bathroom, which has a walk-in shower. Then you have your walk-in closet. You have a little linen closet right here as well. And then this is gonna be the bedroom again. And then you have your full, or not a full, but you have your half bathroom right here. And then over here is gonna be where your stairs, so this is gonna be your mudroom area. This is gonna be where your garage is at, but right now it's locked, so that's where the office is at. But this is where your garage is gonna be at. You're gonna come out, then you're gonna be greeted to this mudroom area. And then over here, well, we're gonna go down that way in a second, but this is where you would go upstairs. And then this is where your coat closet is gonna be at, which is a deep space. So it's a deep space, and that way you can utilize the extra storage that you have. And then over here, I'm assuming it's gonna be another closet. Yep, another closet. So you have 2 coat closets, and we are still in the entryway of the house. And finally, we are in the living room area to go along with the kitchen. Now, there's a lot of upgrades in this area, so let's go through it. Obviously, you're not gonna get the accent wall. You're not gonna get that type of light fixture. Now, I don't know the technical name of these ceilings, but I don't know for a fact if you're gonna get those or not, but it's safe to assume that you won't. And then you're not gonna get these types of light fixtures either. You're also not gonna get those glass cabinets up top. That is considered an upgrade. But check this out. Not only do you have underneath cabinet lighting with these shelves, but you also have it along the floor as well. It almost gives it like that floating shelf type of look, which is unfortunately an upgrade, right? But if you wanted that, that's what it looks like. So you have these dark quartz countertops right here to go along with the stainless steel deep farm sink. You have your gas cooktop with a griddle this time. Built-in appliances, that's where your fridge would go. You have this decent size walk-in pantry. Dining room area, you have your wall of windows. And then we have this outside covered patio here with the built-in cook or the built-in grill right there. Very nice. And then that's what that looks like from this field right here. The thing that I like about this floor plan is that entryway right there. I mean, it just like separates the entire house, right? Because sometimes when you walk inside that front door, it's almost like everything is right there, or you almost even see the kitchen from the front door. You see parts of the kitchen, but in this case, it's separated quite nicely to where you have your hallway. Well, first you have your study, then you have your ensuite, then you have a couple bathrooms, then you have your garage, and then you finally get into the back part of your house, which also features this primary bedroom right here. So this is gonna be your primary bedroom. This reminds me of a casino for some reason. You're definitely not gonna get that fixture, by the way, but you are gonna get that bench seating right there in front of the window. Look how nice that is. Kind of gets rid of the purpose, or kind of gets rid of you needing to get a sofa inside of your bedroom, because some people do that. Large, energy efficient windows right there. Now this is not the biggest bedroom of the video. I wanna say this might be the second smallest actually, but I think it makes up for the space with the bench seating right here. And I have seen this space right here become an upgrade with some floor plans. So if you don't get this bench seating per se, you get that much extra space inside of your bedroom. But even in that little extra space, I think this bedroom is a little bit on the smaller side, at least in today's video. But it's still a large bedroom nonetheless. So this is gonna be your bathroom. So you got your dual vanity sinks right there, more of granite countertops. Then you have your large soaking tub, oversized shower, your stand-up shower with bench seating right there. I hate when they don't frost the windows. So you got the non-soap privacy glass. Again, stand-up shower. You're not gonna have the same porcelain type of backsplash, but you are gonna have the king seat right there, private and everything. And then you're gonna have the walk-through closet, which is on the smaller side, probably the smallest closet we've seen in today's video. Still a pretty good sized closet though. And then we have our laundry room, which features in this case, an entire counter space. Y'all let me know down below if you would love something like this inside of your laundry room, cabinets and everything. And then this is where your washer and dryer would go. Then you have some hanger spots right there as well. It's actually a pretty big laundry spot if you ask me. It's kind of like it's almost too much, you know? I almost wish that they took some of this space and added it to the bedroom or the closet. And then we're right back out into what would be the hallway. If we go left, that's the kitchen. If we go right, we're going right back outside the door. So we're just gonna go upstairs. Look at the little features they have, by the way, with the stair lights. So if I were to turn off the light up top, hey, that's a pretty neat feature, right? I'd say that's the only builder that had that in the video. Very nice. So as soon as we get upstairs, this is gonna be your loft area. Kind of get a view when we have a view up top, but we kind of get a view from at least this little platform right here. And then we have this loft area. Now, before I take y'all over there, I wanna take y'all over here. This house, this floor plan is kind of like a maze. And it's not in a maze in a bad way. I actually like this floor plan. I like the fact that you kind of get lost inside the floor plan. At 3,200 square feet too, you know? They definitely utilize this space. So this being the guest bedroom, so this guest bedroom has its own bathroom. Your bathroom is not gonna have these same type of tiles. This is kind of ugly if you ask me. But I mean, you get this full sink, toilet, and bathtub. Decent sized room as well. And then this is gonna be the second guest bedroom upstairs. And it's gonna have a bathroom shared with the loft. So in this case, stand-up shower, you have your toilet. Instead of having a linen closet, you kind of have like an open linen closet type of setup. You have your window, which is always gonna be a plus if you have a window inside of your guest bedroom. By the way, that is the next house that we're gonna see that has the absolute best value in this neighborhood. That's the best floor plan in my opinion. And I can even see the quirky lights through the windows. But anyways, you have your dual vanity sinks right here, and then we're right back out to the loft. So we see the entryway. And well, before I show you that way, let's talk about this right here. I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be an upgrade. Otherwise, that would kind of be a weird spot to put a built-in desk. But let's say if it is a built-in desk in your floor plan, y'all let me know if you would like this feature or not. I mean, I think it's cool to have this type of feature for the kids, right? The kids get their own little study space. You know, they get their own little office so they don't bother you in your office. I think that's a cool feature to have, but y'all let me know down below. I think I would rather have the open space, but then again, I don't have kids, right? But if you do have the open space, I mean, you can easily put a couch right there. But again, I don't have kids. So this is gonna be the final guest bedroom on this floor. So it has its own bathroom right here, and the rest of the bedroom is right here. It's a very interesting bedroom, actually. Very interesting color choice too. I like the windows right here too, like in the corner of each other. I I don't know, that's actually a pretty cool view. Where if I'm just looking directly right here, I get both views right here. I like that. And then it has this walk-in closet too. And this bedroom also has a pretty long type of hallway. So you see what I mean with this house having these like maze, these long hallways. It feels like a maze almost. So this is the room that's right next to the loft that we have to end it on a banger of a note. This is gonna be your media room, which they decked out with these faux type of faux wood, kind of soundproof it. Now, obviously your media room is not gonna have this faux wood. It's gonna be all white, and you're not gonna have these speakers that they have in the wall, but it is gonna be pre-wired for it. And I mean, hey, you get a media room inside of your 3,200 square foot house. So again, this is Scott Felder. This is a 3,200 square foot house, or it's about 3,113 square feet. This one is the Altor floor plan, and it starts at a base price of about $680,000. Close to, I think it's actually the highest price point in the video, if not one of the highest price points in the video. So this would be like the most expensive house in the video, I would believe. Our next house is actually gonna be a very good value add, but before I talk about that, the price ranges for Scott Felder in this neighborhood is gonna be a little bit more on the higher end. So their baseline price, their absolute lowest price is gonna be $594,000. And at $594,000, you're still getting a 4-bed, 3.5 bath house, 3-car garage, at 2,898, or let's call it 2,900 square feet. The absolute lowest square feet that you can get with Scott Felder is about 2,800. So it's gonna have the biggest, smallest floor plan, and it's also gonna be the highest price tag. Now the next floor plan, which y'all have been waiting for so patiently, this is going to be the biggest floor plan in this neighborhood, and it's also going to be not the most expensive floor plan in this neighborhood. The price is gonna blow you away. This is under $700,000, 4,000 square feet, and you just have to see the inside of it. So I'm gonna catch you over there. Don't go anywhere yet. See you over there. All right, remember when I told y'all this is the best model home that I've seen? I don't know if it was in my career or if it was for a while, but this is like one of the best model homes that I've seen in a long time. Definitely the best model home in this neighborhood. But do you all also remember when I said at the beginning of the video that I can get you into a 4,200 square foot house for less than $700,000? I was actually over exaggerating because this price is more so a little bit above $600,000. That's how crazy that is. So I'm gonna be done yapping. This is a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath house, and it just has everything inside of it that you need inside of a home. And we're gonna take a look at it right now. All right, so this builder is GFO Homes, and this is surprisingly their most popular floor plan. Surprisingly, but unsurprisingly. And we're gonna see why that is exactly. Now this, soon as you walk in, oh my goodness, you are immediately greeted to this beautiful staircase that is gonna go right upstairs, which we're gonna look at here in a few minutes. They just do so much quirky stuff to this. So if you can imagine, we have to have some sort of imagination. This is gonna be blocked off. This is the office right now. So this is gonna be where your garage is at. So boom, boom, just put a wall right here. Maybe you might have a mudroom section right there. So instead of walking that way, we're gonna stop right here to their study. You are gonna have a study. You are gonna have the opportunity to customize this. If you really wanna turn this into a bedroom, we can get away with that. But as of now, I mean, you have so much space inside this house. Just keep this as a study. This looks beautiful. And then we have our half bathroom here. I love the quirky lights that they put in here too. And then we are immediately greeted to our first bedroom of the house. Another quirky light. So this bedroom has a walk-in closet, pretty decent size, but it's actually an ensuite because it has its own bathroom. Look at that, walk-in shower and everything. Toilet all bowled up. Waiting for somebody to buy this as a New Year's gift. If y'all are watching this in 2026, this will still be available. I don't wanna date the video or anything, but anyways, this is what the front entrance looks like, the foyer, the entryway, quirky light, big door. Then we have the bedroom, the ensuite to go along with the study right here. And then we have a half bath, a full bath through that bedroom. And now we're gonna continue walking through our 4,200 square foot house, which to my left is going to be one of many bonus rooms. So in this bonus room, they kind of have it as a library setup, giving me Harry Potter type of feeling. Another quirky light. How many quirky lights are we gonna have in this video? Maybe I should put a counter somewhere in the video. Anyways, imagine what you could do inside of this space. And I wanna remind y'all that this house is barely above $600,000. I'm gonna reveal that price at the end of the tour. Just keep that in mind as we're walking through. So immediately to my right is gonna be the start of our kitchen, but you're gonna have a little butler's nook going on right here with under the cabinet lighting, upgrade by the way. Now before we get down to the kitchen, what's going on right here, this is gonna be your coat closet with underneath stairs storage to store all your additional decorations. Now we can imagine that this is the garage again, so this door would be closed. And then right here is gonna be your mudroom area with a built-in countertop, some more cabinet space for that kitchen. And before we go down that way, because that way is connected to something else that you have to see, we're gonna see what this space is all about, which first, you have this little pantry right here as well. A lot of space. So now we're gonna look at this grand kitchen. So much house, so much space that I kind of get lost in the sauce a little bit. So I'm gonna back out real quick. So we walked that way, and then we came into our lobby right here, and then we walked right there. So now that we're walking straight through our house again, boom, boom, boom. Now we're looking into the living room area with the floor to ceiling tiled fireplace with that star looking light fixture right there, windows everywhere, very high ceilings. If I had to guess, they're probably like 22 to 25 feet tall. A lot of lights up there in the ceiling. And then we have our beautiful professional chef's kitchen with the waterfall quartz countertop island. Beautiful as hell. Look at that, all that cabinet space that you have throughout your kitchen. Underneath cabinet lighting, you have your cabinets go all the way to the ceiling of your kitchen. And this is just everything that you can want and hope to have inside of a kitchen. I mean, look how many burners this kitchen has. Cafe stainless steel stove. That is a pretty expensive stove. And the backsplash is also beautiful as well. And then you have your dining room area, which is surrounded by windows, wall of windows everywhere. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be an upgrade, this sliding door right here. If I had to venture a guess, this might be walled off, or you might have like windows and you might have windows like that in sets of 3, and then you would have access to this balcony. So this is gonna be an upgrade. But as you can see, for the upgrade, they also put some money into this porch because now you have an outside kitchen with a built-in grill. Of course, you have the ceiling fan. Looks very beautiful, very nice out here. Built out patio. I mean, this house is screaming forever home, right? And then if we look up, we see the second story overlooking the living room area. We're gonna make our way into the primary bedroom. So this is going to be your primary bedroom. Quirky light again. Primary bedroom, you can see big windows. You even have this extra cutout space right here. So it's like as soon as you walk in, if you're somebody that enjoys feng shui, if you turn immediately to your left, I mean, the camera picks it up, but you don't really see this, you don't really see any furniture over there, right? So if you're somebody that maybe has a TV in their living or in their primary bedroom, maybe you have a TV right there, a little entertainment studio, or maybe you just have these dressers right here. As soon as you walk in, you're not gonna be able to see that. So if you like feng shui, that I'm pretty sure that means something in feng shui. Maybe you can even put a couch right there. I don't know. My wife always likes talking about putting couches inside our primary. Very large primary, as you can see, so much space to move around. And again, quirky fixture, which if you're in a house like this, you have to have fixtures like that. That only makes sense. This bathroom is a die for, by the way. Look at this beautiful, beautiful bathroom. Quirky light fixture. You even got kind of a tray ceiling inside the bathroom. But I want to point this out right here. Is look how much space you have on these sinks. You have a dual vanity. Well, no, I'm gonna actually call this a his or hers. They're not really separated, but that is definitely a his or hers. And then you have this little makeup nook section for her. Now, one thing I would say is that, hey, just frost these windows or put shades in these windows. Definitely don't leave them clear because this is looking inside of the next door neighbor, which right now is a model home, and I can see somebody in there right now. So you're gonna definitely have to do something with these windows. But I love these ring lights right here inside the mirror. That is so beautiful to have. And then right behind me, you have a standing garden, or a large garden tub. I don't know if I'm gonna call it standing, but I'm not gonna get in there for today's video. But I promise y'all that when I have went inside these tubs before, I was able to fit my 6'2" self comfortably inside one of these bathtubs. So if I can do that, I know a lot of y'all can do that, unless if I'm selling this to an NBA player or something. And you have your linen closet right there. And then we have our walk-in shower right here, which I'm gonna turn the camera around again. So walk-in shower, gotta start off with the floors. These look like they're not marble, they're more like porcelain type of backsplash. But then you have your waterfall shower faucet up there. You have a shower faucet right there. And then you don't have one behind me, but I'm sure that if you really, really wanted to put that option inside of your house, they would either connect it for you or like have a connection for you. They can do it for you. Either way, it doesn't hurt to ask. But you have bench seating on both sides. You have see-through glasses, which is even more weird that they didn't frost or do anything with these windows. I'm pretty sure that the spec homes will not have clear windows like this with a shower right here, because that would be insane. Because I could clearly see the person on the other side. I wonder if they see me. Can you imagine that? But anyways, yes, this is what sells this house though, is just these finishes right here. Over here, you have your private king seat, which they got the nice little bow for us. And then you have your large walk-in closet, lot of shelves. And then you're gonna have your laundry room right here connected to the closet, which is connected to the bathroom, which is connected to your room. So everything makes sense kind of in the middle of the house too. So like your first bedroom in the front, if you have a person living there, well, this is easy access to them. And then behind this door is gonna be a sink as well. This house just continues to surprise me, doesn't it? And then we're right back into the mudroom garage type of area. So let's head upstairs now that we walked it. By the way, if this is also your favorite model home in the video, comment that down below, comment GFO homes. This is hands down my favorite model of the video. My forever home is this. You know, I would give up buying a Perry Homes if it means that I could spend barely $600,000 for a house of this magnitude. So we just came from downstairs, all right? And we got another quirky light right there. And look at this view right here. Look at that view. Can you imagine your family downstairs? Everybody's gathered up in the living room over here. Maybe you have somebody cooking a really fancy meal inside of your kitchen. You guys are gonna eat at that dining room table. Kids are upstairs playing around. You gotta call them up for dinner, call them down for dinner. Maybe you got folks outside, somebody's on a grill. There's so much room inside of this house where you could have 3 parties and you'll still feel like that you have enough room to move around. We're gonna start on this side. I don't know if that made sense, but anyways, this is gonna be one of many guest bedrooms upstairs. This guest bedroom is almost the same size as some people's primary bedrooms. Like I don't know if the camera could pick this up. I'm missing my 0.5 lens right now. Dropped it, of course. But this is a large bedroom. This bed is, I think it's twin size, but you could comfortably fit a queen, and you could get away with fitting a king and still have space on both sides to put nightstands and put a dresser and everything. This is a very large room. Let's check out the closet actually. Closet is also a decent sized closet. I'm not gonna really call it a walk-in, but it's gonna share a bathroom. You got a linen closet right here. But you're gonna share a bathroom with your second guest bedroom upstairs. So this one has dual vanity sinks. And then you have your tub and shower combination. They're kind of going for like a despotic cow type of look. But hey, I like it. It looks a lot better than just your plain white. You let me know down below if you disagree. Then over here is your other guest bedroom, which shares the bathroom with the previous one. I like this layout as well. It's a very large space. We have another quirky light right there. And then we have a walk-in right here. Quirky mirrors too. I mean, something to point out too. I mean, y'all might have, I already pointed it out earlier, but having all these recessed lights, you see the amount of lights that are on that ceiling is insane. You're never gonna run out of light in this house, that's for damn sure. Same thing is over here too. All right, so we are getting now more into the meat and potatoes of this house. We're gonna make our way down there here in a little bit. But first, gotta show y'all what's going on in this bathroom. And this bathroom is just gonna basically be the upstairs bathroom, the public bathroom over here, but it's also gonna be probably this bedroom's bathroom because the other bedrooms share a bathroom. So We have this bedroom right here. Not so much of a quirky light, but I'm still gonna count it. And then this is more of the closets that I'm used to showing. So slightly smaller than the previous closets, but hey, still a decent size room. Finally, we get to our upstairs loft. So I want you to picture family time up here. Maybe the kids are up here running around. Got another quirky light, by the way. Kids are up here running around. You guys have guests over. I don't know why you bring the guests up here if you have that massive house downstairs. But either way, this is a spot for the kids to enjoy. Giving your kids their own space, I'm sure that a lot of you parents would die to be able to give your kids their own personal space. I know when I was a kid, I would love a room like this inside of my house. No adults allowed. Then right next door to this is the media room. Look at this media room. Let me flip the camera around. Man, having a media room like this, I would never leave the house for entertainment. Like, we're never going to the movie theaters again. We're never going to arcades again. Everything is gonna be done inside of this room. They also customize it for, look at this, wet bar area, mini sink. I'm sure that that's right there is for a mini fridge. That's definitely an upgrade, but still, you have this. I don't even know what you would call it, like a wine cellar, a wine holder. You know, if I can't figure it out, editor, delete that. But so check out this wet bar. You have a sink, countertop, cabinets, drawers. You even have a spot for the mini fridge. You have literally everything inside of this room. Like, this room is the size of some people's apartments. You know what I mean? And the crazy part about everything that I just showed you in this model home is that this house is $613,000. I said at the beginning of the video that this house is $700,000. This house is barely above $600,000. You're getting 4,200 square feet. This just blows me away. And I mean, the best part about it, y'all been watching the video the whole time, so you already know where the location is at. That we're only about 35 minutes-ish away from Austin, if that, maybe about 25-ish minutes, right? That is insane to have a house of this size at that price, and you're still so close to Austin. Crazy. The builder right now is offering an interest rate that is similar to other builders in this neighborhood. And I'm just gonna set you down because I've held you for about almost 20 minutes showcasing this house. So GFO Homes is offering an incentive of 4.99%. That is for conventional and FHA. If you are VA, your rate's gonna be different. We don't know because we didn't talk to a lender. But you could also assume that if you're VA, your interest rate's gonna be around the same neighborhood. Might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less, might be the same, we don't know. Now this house is $613,000, but the least expensive house that GFO Homes has to offer in this neighborhood is going to start you at $490,000 at a minimum of 2,200 square feet. So no matter if you're buying this floor plan or if you're buying the smallest floor plan that they have, you are still getting a decent size house at a pretty competitive price, if you ask me. I mean, $600,000 for this house, that's me all day. I would gladly buy this house if I had 4,200 square foot of family to put inside of this house, right? This house is kind of big for just 2 people. But for a full family of 4 or 5 people, perfect. This is my favorite floor plan of the video. If it's also your favorite floor plan, comment down below GFO Homes. And if you are somebody looking to relocate from DFW, I mean, if you're from DFW, we're neighbors, hit me up. But if you're watching from California, New York, this is proof that we're still finding houses at an unbelievable price range that is probably 3 times the size of your house that you're coming from. So we just got finished up shooting this entire neighborhood. We just got done shooting that model home, which is my favorite model home. I wasn't able to take you guys in that one. That's the Chesmar house, but I was able to show you her sister property. And I really wish I was able to take y'all inside of that one. That one's beautiful. Then we also saw Coventry in the corner over there. We saw Capital Communities right there. And we also saw Scott Felder right there. So I showed y'all a total of 5 builders in this Blackhawk community. And not just in this community, but there are a total of about 1,200 home sites coming to Blackhawk in general. I'm pretty sure that that's gonna be happening over the next decade or so. And y'all can see why, after watching today's video, why so many people still to this day move to Blackhawk and why Blackhawk is such an attractive community for a lot of people. If you haven't already, definitely check out my What It's Like to Live in Pflugerville video, which I'm gonna leave right there on the screen. That is life in Pflugerville, why people move to Pflugerville, where this neighborhood is located. I even showcase some of the amenities in this neighborhood in that video. I also wanna say, look, this 4,200 square foot model home for $613,000, $14,000, $15,000. You let me know where else we can find a home that size for that price in this location, in Blackhawk, on top of everything. It blows my mind. Damn, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. Look, if you are looking to relocate to Austin, I don't care if you're from California, New York, Florida, Arizona, or if you're from one of my stepsisters like DFW, Houston, reach out to me. Don't do this alone. Look, the builder pays my professional fees. The only benefit, like the thing that you could benefit from while working with me is that, hey, even if I'm just tagging along on the ride, there's a chance that you're gonna get a slightly better deal if I help you versus if you do it yourself. And plus, why wouldn't you want somebody in your corner representing you in your best interest? You know, that's all I can say. Reach out to me. Scan the QR code on the screen. That's the absolute most easiest way to reach out to me. The second easiest way is to simply click the link in my top pinned comment or in the description down below. But if that's not easy enough, you could always just call me, text me, or email me. All that information is down below in the description. Let me know which builder was your favorite builder by leaving a comment down below. This is In Austin with Dawson. Thank you for watching. You're awesome. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.